Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about Teofimo Lopez and I guess the aftermath of his fight with Pedro Campa and where he goes from here and all that kind of stuff. So far as the Pedro Campa fight is concerned, to me, there's really not a whole lot to take from it. I think it was an opponent that was absolutely tailor-made for Teofimo Lopez. Top-ranked boxing, did a great job of picking the right opponent. And Campa, who didn't have the speed to match Teo, didn't have the footwork or the foot speed to really trouble Teo, and he didn't have the punching power to really do anything with Teo either. And on top of that, he was very hittable and had very leaky defense. So it was a chance for Teofimo Lopez to not just show off and get a win and look good and get people excited about him again, but it was a chance for him to work on some things, as it looked like he was. It looked like in this fight with Campa, who was tailor-made for him, that he was working a little bit more on his boxing, which I expected him to do because he had Jorge Rubio on his team, who's known as a defensive coach, a guy that likes to make his fighters box. You know what I'm saying? So really, I'm not going crazy over the performance, but it was a performance that was needed. It was a performance that it was good to see from him because it shows that he can still take care of business despite all the mental things that he's been going through and all these kind of things. So a good win nonetheless. Now, the attention for Teo now would shift to his future at 140. Does Teofimo Lopez have what it takes to beat the top dogs at 140? Your guys like Regis Prograis, your guys like Jose Cepeda, these kind of guys, Jose Ramirez, Jose Pedraza, the guys on top are, solid guys, top guys. What could he realistically do at 140? And I'm going to be honest, I like Teo, but there's not really a lot I can take from that fight. So for that reason, I truthfully believe that top-ranked boxing needs to, not throw him in there with a top guy next. And I don't think they can anyway, because when you look at it, Josh Taylor's going to fight Jack Catterall next. Regis Prograis going to fight Jose Cepeda, so that those fights aren't going to happen. And Teo's saying that he wants to box. He's in a box December the 10th on Heisman Trophy night at Madison Square Garden. So take all these things into consideration. It will be a relatively a good turnaround for him. Not the fastest turnaround, but not a slow turnaround either. Just the right turnaround, three to 4 months time from now. So with that being said, I just think that the ideal fight for Teo is none other than Arnold Barboza Jr. I think that's the fight he needs. We need to see from him to really see what he can do at this weight class, because Arnold Barboza, in my opinion, I don't look at Arnold Barboza as a creme de la creme top shelf fighter at 140, but he's still an undefeated fighter at 140. He's a highly ranked contender. His last fight, he fought Danielo Zorrilla, and he didn't light the world on fire, but he won. So yeah, Arnold Barboza is not a creme de la creme top guy, but Arnold Barboza is a full-fledged 140 pounder. He would definitely present more challenges and more resistance than a Pedro Campa due to his footwork and his boxing ability and his punch output and these kind of things. So these things, seeing how Teofimo would do against a solid, top 10 ranked 140 pounder, this is the kind of fight I think he needs before he's thinking about taking on those the big boys in the division like Prograis, Cepeda, them type of guys. If he can beat Arnold Barboza and take that O, not only would that be a statement for him in the 140 division, but that would also be a good win for his career in general to put that name on his resume. Because Barboza is a confident fighter. Barboza has not tasted defeat yet. Barboza has, for the most part, he's mixed it in. He's mixed it up with some solid names. Not the creme de la creme, but he's beating your William Silvas and your Mike Alvarados and Alex Saucedos, Antonio Morans. So even him, like, Barboza has mixed it at a certain level for a long time. He's 30 years old. He's a 27-fight veteran. It's not even just about Teo. I think it's also about Barboza getting his chance against another top name, a creme de la creme top talent, and seeing what he's got. Because at the end of the day, as a fighter, you don't want to keep fighting these fights against guys you can beat, and then you don't really know what you can do against a guy that is at that elite upper echelon level. So if he gets the opportunity to fight Lopez and let's say Barboza can go on there, and let's say he could start Teofimo Lopez and show that he don't belong at 140, then that only makes his stock go up, and that will get the people more intrigued about what Arnold Barboza Jr. got going on. So I really do think that's the next fight. You know, Barboza seemed willing to make the fight happen. He was there ringside, and this is a fight that I know has been talked about for a little bit of time because, you know, Arnold Barboza is managed by Rick Merrigan, a prominent manager in boxing, who manages like 2 other fighters in this weight class. He also manages Jose Ramirez. He also manages Jose Zepeda. So Rick Merrigan pretty much has been on Twitter and Instagram talking like he normally does, because he talks a lot on social media. And he's pretty much been saying about Teo that, you know, you can't come in the big kids playground. You can't come in the big kids sandbox, because you'll get beat up. You're not going to pass none of these tests. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, this fight in December, seeing Arnold Barboza get his shot, because this has been a guy that I've been looking at from afar for years. He's been on undercards grinding for years, trying to get his opportunity. Now it looks like he may be on the cusp of finally getting his big opportunity against Teofimo Lopez. And for Teofimo Lopez, he needs to fight now a credible 140-pounder to show that he truly belongs in his weight class. Because the Pedro Campa fight, all respected Campa. He was durable and took Teo 7 rounds, so I would expect Campa to get more opportunities in the future with Top Rank. But Campa was what I thought he was. He was a showcase fight for Teofimo to look good, get a win, produce some highlight reels for Top Rank to post on their Instagram feed, and they're gonna move on. But really, the real test at 140, in my opinion, his real fight at 140, his first fight at 140 will be his next fight at 140. And I fully anticipate and I fully expect, and I really believe it should be Arnold Barboza Jr., because Arnold Barboza Jr. Hasn't shown himself to be on that top level, but Arnold Barboza has shown himself to be a solid, credible top 10 guy. And Teofimo Lopez needs to fight a solid, credible top 10 guy who could really give him some more resistance than Pedro Campa did. So let me know what you guys think. Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. You know, we can't talk about Teo versus Josh Taylor or Jack Catterall or Prograis or Zepeda, because truthfully, those guys are all tied up, and I don't think he's ready for any of them, really. So Barboza be a good test. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below about that fight. What kind of chance do you give Teo, and what kind of chance do you give Barboza? Who do you see winning the fight? Take some time to subscribe, because we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I know what your guys' help. We're going to get there quickly and swiftly, so help me out with that. And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
No, follow this kid. Oh. You know, he's a true, he's a young, true, passionate person who follows boxing. He wakes up thinking about boxing, and he goes to sleep thinking about boxing.
This is true.
Good kid, good man, and looking forward to seeing him everywhere in the boxing world.
Hey man, if you ain't subscribed to True School Sports, you fucking up, man. Make sure you subscribe, bro.
Fucking up big time.
Make sure, man.